Haters motivate me. Because when they talking about me, that means I'm doing something.
You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win.
That person who was your hater, they thought they defeated you. That person who told you you'll never amount to anything, they thought they defeated you.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode to the Galaxy Pod, hosted by yours truly, Slim. Back at it again with another episode with a few things to discuss. But before we get into it, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure to hit me with a follow on Twitter at R2R30111. And also you can follow the YouTube page at To The Galaxy Pod. Just like that. Nothing capitalized or nothing like that. Just To The Galaxy Pod. You can follow me on there as well. But with that being said, three things to discuss about the Golden State Warriors. They past 3 games and giving my takeaways and different things like that. And as well as discussing Randy Orton and CM Punk returning back to WWE. Been a long time coming. It's like reliving your childhood all over again to a certain extent. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. So the Golden State Warriors, we played the Clippers the past 2 games. I'm going to start off with yesterday's game. I wasn't able to just watch it how I would want to because I was working. But final score, 112 to 113. PG-13 game winner. My takeaways from that game was, first off, Steve Kerr inserting Dario Saric in the lineup was huge. I say, Dario provides more so an offensive perspective that Looney really doesn't. Dario can stretch the floor and open up the lane for Steph and Wiggs to get downhill and operate. Same thing with Kuminga if he gets strong in the game as well. So I like that. Giving a different look, putting Dario in the starting lineup, it was pretty good. Even though him coming off the bench has been a plus and huge for us, he been doing very good. Coming off the bench, he's averaging like 10 points and 6 rebounds and shooting pretty good from 3-point range and averaging like 2 assists. So he's been huge, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. But we'll see how it go moving forward. But I liked it. And shout out to Loon, though, for just being a pro. I get this dude to ultimate praise. Like, he's just a winner, and he's always available. He's going to play. He's reliable. What he's going to bring to the team. Set screens, always make the right plays, rebound, and just be a pro, like I mentioned. So shout out to Loon for, taking the sacrifice of coming off the bench because he, most guys who's been starting for so long wouldn't have particularly done that, I'd say. But he's a winner. So shout out to him for doing that. And Draymond, so far in the season, he's shooting 47% on threes on like 3 attempts a game. So that's huge. He hit 4 threes yesterday against the Clippers. That was his most since 2018. That's a long time ago. But with him shooting the ball like that, it just make our offense way better. Teams can start to respect him now. Even though you can arguably say it's sample size because we are only 12 games in, but you still got to give him his props. And that aspect of him, being more aggressive overall offensively, I seen him, a few seasons ago, Draymond, when he would look at the rim, he'd be wide open. But I could tell he got a different approach this season. So shout out to him for being more aggressive and assertive on the offensive end. Like I mentioned, he had 4 threes yesterday. Overall, he was 4-6 in the game. So he did pretty good, I'd say. And Moses Moody Leap is here. Year 3 Moses is here. He had 21 points yesterday, made 10 free throws, 10 to 10. Just overall being solid, overall doing everything. he reminded me of a vet. Like he literally does everything right to a certain extent. He just give you an old soul vibe. Does whatever the team need him to do. And yesterday he stepped up big. I love what I've been seeing from him overall this season. He haven't really has gotten consistent minutes until now. As of later, I say there have been moments where Steve Carroll put him out there and not leave him out there when he got things going. And he's been making Steve Kerr having a hard time not play him, I say. I've been said this early in the year or before the season started. I said Moses is just one of those guys who you're just going to have a hard time not playing. And Steve, he admitted it that, he made a mistake in not giving him the proper minutes, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, I just love what Moses has been doing for this team, man. He's been great, phenomenal on both ends, might I add, So, but I'll jump more into that. Pods, the still of the draft question mark. Like, this kid has been amazing for us. Like, he literally give you the vibes of a vet as well. Like, he make the right reads, he rebound, willing to sacrifice his body, take charges, shooting the ball pretty well. Just like got an all-around type of game. But the number one thing that stands out to me is his rebounding for a guard. Like, he's 6'5", and the way he rebounds is just phenomenal, man. Like, as well as the way he read the game, his IQ is second to none. Is up there for sure. And guys like that, they tend to last in this league a long time, and I have no doubt that with the way he's playing, he's another guy you're going to have a hard time not playing, especially when Chris Paul get back. So we got a lot of questions to answer for sure moving forward, but Paz has been great for real. But yeah, moving on to Clay, he has been way better of late. I say these past few plus games, I've seen some more consistency that makes sense, especially from a shooting standpoint. Even defensively, he's been way better. So just take time. We 20 games in, so I like what I've been seeing from Clay. And with JK, we need to unlock JK, like fully unlock him more so of a consistent rate. Because if not, then you may have to explore moving him to a certain degree if you feel like he's not the guy that you can rely on, like Moses rather. But yeah, I have faith in JK. I know he can provide to this team. He can go our point of attack. He bring athleticism. He's young. He's been shooting the ball pretty well. The numbers don't say that, but past 3 games, he's been solid, I say. But we just need to unlock him more so at a consistent rate, which we need to do because we've been struggling, man. We can't be more consistent. Well, be consistent. I mean, when Draymond got suspended, he came back. CP went down. GP went down. GP2. And now Wiggs been out the past 3 games. So it's just like luck not on our side. We can't stay healthy. Like everybody stay as one. And so we can unlock each other and unlock that potential that I know that we can have with this group of guys. But we'll see how it goes. Lastly, before I break down the 3 games, Steph needs to get back in that mode. Like, these past 3 games, turnover-wise, he's been horrible, man. Like Steph just always been like that to a certain degree. He just throw the ball away. Like, when we played the Kings a few days ago, he made a crazy pass that ultimately led to a big-time bucket in the crunch, man, I had. Same thing with Draymond, too. He made a ridiculous pass, but it just was miscommunication on him and Klay Thompson end. We have to definitely be better than that. We, against the Kings, we blew a 24-point lead. Final score 101 to 102. The Kings won. It was crazy the way we lost. Like, Malik Monk hit a tough shot, but honestly, we deserved to lose that game. The turnovers were getting to us. GB2 got injured that game, and Chris Paul. But there's still no reason for us to lose, though. I mean, it was up big, and we had a lot of confidence going on. Wiggins was going off, Clay, Steph. All 3 of those guys scored 20-plus points that game, and we still lost. It just was a terrible second half, too. Like I mentioned, the turnovers and a lot of different things, just giving up easy buckets at the rim and different things like this. So we definitely have to be better. Uh, you know, keeping leads and building that consistency as a team if we want to compete for a championship. Even though it's easier said than done, but 20 games in, I didn't predict us to be uh, 12-8. I thought we would have definitely been way better than that. But we're 12-8, and we still have a long way to go. I mean, not 12-8. We're 9-11. I'm sorry, 9-11, and we still got ways to go. I still got faith in this group, but we still got a lot of learning to do. But versus the Clippers yesterday, we blew a 22-point lead. Final score 112 to 111. As I mentioned, Paul George is the game winner. We deserved to lose that game because the way we was closing it, from what I seen from the highlights, was just crazy. We were giving those guys confidence, and they just took off and ran with it. Like I said, Paul George hit the game in the last game, and Malik Monk hit the game winner against us when we played the Kings. So blown leads, we have to do a better job of being more consistent. But yeah, health wise, we should be better for sure. Well, with the game yesterday, I said I liked it when I seen, like I said, Dario in the starting lineup. He provides that spacing that's needed. Draymond, he's shooting the ball well, shot the ball pretty well. Steph played okay. I say he didn't play well in the second half at all, but he did have 11 assists and like 2 turnovers. So that's a positive note to take away from it. And Clay hit some big shots yesterday, for sure. And like I said, Draymond, he hit 4 threes, had 21 points and 9 rebounds. So that's a nice sight to see. Moses had 21. And a lot of guys were just getting to it. So nice to see. But we just got to be better executing down the stretch. Late game turnovers that always come back and hunt us. So hopefully we figure those things out. Trades, question mark. Do I feel like we need to make moves? Yeah, I mean, as a contending team, you want to always look to get better. And for us, like, come trade deadline, the teams are calling us for a deal that you really can't turn down, then we should definitely look into it. Because, like, for us, clearly we don't have a true rim protector, and teams know that. Paul George came out yesterday and he said that we don't have no rim protection, which is true. Like, Draymond, he can protect the rim to a certain extent, but at this stage of his career, he don't need to be the only one, if that makes sense. So, but at the trade deadline, we have to make some tough decisions. Like, we want to compete, we do, because you don't want to go into the playoffs and end up with the same result like last year, come up short in the second round, or heck, even get upset in the first round. So we have a lot of decisions to be made. One thing to keep an eye on is if Pods, the Rook, is going to be playing as great as he has been playing, then CP3 might be on his way out. Seriously, him and JK might get packaged for potential wing that can provide certain things that this team need, or like I mentioned, a rim protecting big, maybe, who knows? But we could make moves. It just depends on if it really helps us and put us over the hump. But I feel like we should definitely explore to make some moves for sure. I mean, it's gonna be tough. Like Clay going into a contract where he is in contract, he's going into the off season. After this season, you got a lot of movable assets, so just see how it go. As well as Steve Kerr, like his contract situation. I mean, it's been a lot of frustration with me as a fan because I like Steve Kerr, like the way he coach and how he go about things. But some of the lineups he's thrown out there has been crazy. No lie. Like I was telling a lot of guys on Twitter, like a lot of guys were mad at the players, but like for prime example, Dario being put at the 5. It's not Dario's fault he getting put at the 5. He's just doing what Steve is asking him to do. Same thing with Corey Joseph. When we go 3 guards, we'll do what we have done. CP, Corey and like pods, but it's not Corey's fault that Steve Kerr is doing this. He's just being a vet. Same thing with Dario, just doing what's asked of him to go out there and compete. So, Steve just had to find best lineups that work for this team. 3 guards and go cut it, man. I hate when we do that. It just, especially when teams go big and we go very small, it's just terrible. But hopefully he get better as the season progresses. But I still feel like we can compete for a championship. We just gotta either make that move, that big trade that put us over the hump, or a minor trade that helps, or these guys just turning around, which I think we can. We just got to stay healthy. GP2 will be out for the next week maybe. Chris Paul, don't really know the update on him, and Wiggs been out as a late past 2 games. So we get those guys back and we'll fully see what we look like within the next 10 games, try to reevaluate talent. But if you Mike Dunleavy, you always want to stay on that phone and try to look for ways to get better. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like, we got put out the in-season tournament against the Kings. Well deserved. Like I mentioned, we blew a 24-point lead against them. Past 3 games, we're at 1-2. I definitely expect us to be better than that with these upcoming games. It's not going to be an easy schedule, but our next 5 games, we play the Trailblazers, Thunder, Suns, Clippers again, and the Nets. So I can see a record of maybe 3-2 at best, 4-1, at worst 3-2. Should be no way we should lose 3 games within this 5-game schedule right here that I just named. So hoping that we can build some consistency there, and it should start this upcoming Wednesday when we play the Trailblazers. They have a young rebuilding team, but you still shouldn't sleep on them. Keyword I mentioned, they're young, got a lot of talent over there. So yeah, hopefully we come through and build some consistency because we're going to need it. Yeah. But that's pretty much it on the Warriors. Just had to break that down and get my free takeaways what I've seen past 3 games and different things like that. So we'll be better. At least I hope so. But moving on to the WWE side of things, CM Punk, he's back. In over a decade, first time appearing back in WWE. Over the course of the past 4 months, I've been hearing a lot of chatter on Twitter as far as him rumored to return to WWE, but keyword rumor, you never really just pay too much attention to it. But come to find out it was true. He returned last Sunday at Survivor Series in his hometown, Chicago, Illinois. The pop was crazy. I mean, the numbers speak for itself. When he returned, it was WWE most viewed video across all platforms. It was crazy. But him being back, there should be a lot of good storylines and good rivalries going on. He is at home. He said it, and I have no doubt that he'll make one heck of a run at this, his last go round, maybe. I think he signed a 7-year contract or something along the lines of that. So it's interesting to see him and Seth Rollins get into it, and potentially see him and Roman Reigns collab, and Randy Orton, and a lot of guys. I would have never thought I'd see this day again as far as him returning to WWE, honestly. But as a fan, it's just reliving your childhood over again to a certain extent. Especially with this guy about the name, the Viper, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. He returned last Sunday as well for the first time in over a year and a half. He looked great in his match. He's probably the best shape he's ever been in his life, honestly. I mean, he's jacked. He's strong. Look good, moving around good in the ring. Just a nice sight to see. This past Friday, he made his decision to sign with SmackDown over Raw. And this should be a good rivalry between him and the Bloodline. And those was the guy who put him out of action for a year and a half. So that should be a nice storyline. And hopefully, before he hang him up, he could be champion again. So we'll see. Potentially go read both him and CM Punk at an arena for the first time. So just those guys getting older, so you got to give them their flowers. They still doing what they're doing at the elite level. So yeah, but that's pretty much it on this episode. I don't want to hold y'all up too long. Just checking in with the Warriors and excited to have CM Punk and Randy back in WWE. Probably going to make me start watching it even more, even though I haven't really been watching it like that. But with those guys being back, I definitely tune in. So yeah, but make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at R2R30111, as well as to the Galaxy Pod on Twitter as well. And like the video. And as always, comment something positive. And yeah, see you guys either this week or next week. But with that being said, we out. Peace.